to more great Christmas episodes as an old-time Radio USA Christmas continues. So don't you go anywhere.
Now, listen to Orson Welles with Ray Collins in The Plot to Overthrow Christmas by Norman Corwin. This is My Best, starring Orson Welles with Ray Collins in a Christmas story chosen from among his best works, especially for this program, by America's master radio poet, Norman Corwin. America's best stars in the world's best stories. This is My Best, presented each week for your entertainment by CRESTA, BLANCA, Presta Blanca, Presta Blanca. Sheltered from the ocean breezes, nestled among green rolling hills, nurtured by the friendly sunlight, cooled by softly falling rain. There the vines of Cresta Blanca, bursting forth in their green glory, growing, bearing, heavy laden, bring the grapes to luscious fullness. So the vintner quickly harvests, presses from them golden goodness, tends it gently, now to rest. Till at last the wine is ready, shimmering, fragrant, full of flavor, masterpiece of his perfection. And he hails it proudly, saying, "This is my best. This is Cresta Blanca."
Good evening. This is Orson Welles. I'm very flattered indeed for the chance to be appearing so soon again on This Is My Best, very particularly in the radio best we have for you tonight. Best is a big word, but it isn't too big for Norman Corwin, who is certainly and beyond all argument the best writer the medium has produced. And best is a big word, but it isn't too big for Ray Collins either, who shoulders the greater part of tonight's divertisement. If you know of a better actor in radio, please send me his name. I can use him in the Mercury. Here, then, is radio's best, a script by Corwin, and here's Corwin's very best for the holidays, a delicious and utterly delirious rigadoon of a thing entitled The Plot to Overthrow Christmas.
Shenley's Cresta Blanca wine presents The Plot to Overthrow Christmas by Norman Corwin, starring Orson Welles as Nero, with Ray Collins as Santa Claus on This Is My Best.
Did you hear about the plot to overthrow Christmas? Well, gather ye now from Maine to the Isthmus of Panama and listen to the story of the utter inglory of some gory goings-on in hell. Now, it happened in Hades, ladies and gentlemen. It happened down there that the fiends held a meeting. The fiends held a meeting for the purpose of defeating Christmas. With the aid of a fade on the radio, we'll take you there with a high and a Hades-ho to hear firsthand the brewing of the plot down in the deepest Stygian grot.
A grot is a poetical term for grotto. Whenever you hear my voce sotto or sotto voce, whichever you prefer, it's just I, taking pains to make quite sure that nobody makes a poetical allusion which might in any way create confusion. I return you now to the voice you were hearing before I had to do this interfering.
As I was saying, in this Stygian grot, the notables of Limbo hatched a plot. And what went on in the sulphurous hole, we'll soon pick up by remote control. You mustn't mind if it sounds erratic. That's merely intraterrestrial static. And don't be surprised if you're deafened by thunder just as we start on our journey under. And so below, via radio, to the regions where the legions of the damned go.
favorite concerto. You should look to the improvement of your manners.
Sir, if you please, my apologies. I would not have intruded upon your recital if the matters were not so terribly vital.
The most important matter in the world is piddling when it comes to be compared with Nero's fiddling.
Now, what you say may be very true, but I have been sent here to summon you to a great mass meeting of the tortured souls down in the grot of the flaming coals.
Why are we meeting? Who's on the spot?
We're meeting in order to fabricate a plot. A plot against the festival that mortal men comfort in and gladden in again and again. You see, every year...
Never mind the facts. I don't want to hear how mortal man acts. The only information about which I care concerns the mass meeting and who'll be there.
His wickedness, Mephisto, will preside.
Naturally.
And several of the Borgias will be sitting at his side. And down in front by the sizzling podium will be many personalities known for their odium. Haman, Caligula, Medusa, and Legree.
That's all very nice, but what about me?
Oh, you'll be sitting in row A, center, between Ivan the Terrible, the Tormentor, and Circe.
Mercy, why, they're both deranged.
Do you wish me to see if your seat can be changed?
Yes, if you will, please. Taste comes first, even though a soul may be eternally cursed.
Right-o. See you at the meeting, then?
Yes, and now back to my fiddling again.
This is I, the sotto voce person. It should have been explained that Nero is rehearsing for nothing in particular. He's just that way. While hell's fires burns, he likes to play. It makes him feel a little more at home. It's just an avocation he picked up at Rome.
The meeting will now come to order, please. I've called you here from over 60 seas of boiling pitch and blazing phosphorus to stop what constitutes a loss for us. And this is the reason. Though we've done well in carrying forward the work of hell, we've left a very big job unfinished. After all these years, there is undiminished goodwill on earth every late December because of Christmas. Now, please remember that as long as this continues to be, the race of man will not belong to me. I will listen now to any questions you may want to ask. And then, suggestions.
Mr. Chairman! Mr. Chairman!
Brother Haman has the floor.
You say we've done well in our efforts to sell evil? I say we've done better. We have carried out the letter of your law. We've done what I think is a pretty good job. And I say, as a veteran demon...
Sit down there, Haman. Enough of this folly.
Sit down yourself. You're off your trolley.
Sit down. For I am Ivan the Terrible.
You're telling us why you're unbearable.
Hello, demons! This is no way to act. Please proceed with a little more tact. I want more decorum in this forum. These personal remarks you make must cease. Now, Brother Ivan, will you speak your piece?
I merely want to say in a casual way that Haman is a radical. He always gets fanatical. Why anybody'd think to hear him snort that the work of the devil should just stop short?
Mr. Chairman, Brother Ivan is a demagogue with a brain like a fly and the manners of a hog. He says that...
Enough! We will hear from others. Surely there must be among you brothers enough of venom and malevolence to crush a mortal man's benevolence. It's come to this. Are we going to let a little holiday like Christmas get the better of us all down here below? No. Very well then, sirs, very well. Let's go. Let's lay down our plans now to overthrow this Christmas business and all that guff of holly and mistletoe and stuff.
Mr. Chairman.
Brother Caligula may take the floor.
Mr. Chairman, I abhor as a former emperor anything which curbs our rule. Let us give some presents, too. Candy sticks and things to chew, fruits and nuts, and little cakes, poisonous as rattlesnakes.
Bravo!
Let our subtlest worker be bichloride of mercury. Let us wrap in tinsel bright little gifts of dynamite.
Bravo!
Work things so that men will fear when 1225 draws near. Soon at this rate, if you please, men will hang from Christmas trees.
My dear Caligula, permit the chair to say that we think you've got something there. And now, with this fine start, let's hear some more.
Yes, Brother Nero. Do you want the floor?
With all due respect to Caligula's views, I think there's a better method we can use. I've heard just lately men are giving the razz to classical music by making it jazz. They're swinging Bach, and what is keener, they're doing the shag to Palestrina. As a connoisseur of music, of course, I love the works of Rimsky-Korsakov, but today I note with a bitter shrug they've made Scheherazade a jitterbug.
Much as we admire your clever rhyme, will you get to the point? We're wasting time.
I was just about to say, when interrupted, that Christmas can easily be corrupted if you take and swing all the Christmas carols. I think of the evil. Just barrels and barrels of sacrilege. Every time you play a pious song in a profane way, why, once you entice them to swing Noel, then victory belongs to us fiends. Well...
Mr. Chairman, Mr. Legree, I'd like to say that it seems to me that you all is barking up a coolness tree. I think Mr. Nero has made a wrong guess. The way to go about it is to get in Congress and bribe a bunch of senators who know their oats and just make a purchase of a block of votes. They can all get together and pass a law where there ain't going to be no Christmas anymore.
I think Legree's suggestion is a beaut.
It's very cute.
And quite astute.
By the eternal night. That's right.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, Miss Borgia.
I say that we should all give pause to think about this Santa Claus. He is the man behind the scenes, the symbol of what Christmas means. If we could rub him out, my friend, our troubles would be at an end. Just think how it would tickle us to liquidate St. Nicholas. A girl like me could fascinate the guy and then assassinate.
Do you think that you could do it, pretty one? Are you sure you wouldn't be by pity one?
Mm-hmm. Sometimes you are an awful tease, my master Mephistopheles. Ain't I murdered several dozens, poisoned uncles, aunts, and cousins? Men of virtue all have cussed me. I'm sure that you can trust me.
Of that we haven't a particle of doubt, Miss Borgia. I'm sure we all have nothing but kind feelings towards you. But many times a woman spy, alas, adores her victims. Things make poor ambassadors.
Do you imply that such defects are found inherent in my sex?
That I do.
Well, listen here, old Ironsides. You're heading for some cyanides. You've crossed a Borgia, and you know the consequences that follow.
Come, disciples. This is very bad. There's nothing to be gained by getting mad. Now, suppose we put the matter to a vote. All those in favor of the motion made by Fiend Caligula, which was to shade the glamour of the holiday by using selected poisons of our choosing, all those in favor will please signify by rising to their feet and saying aye. Aye! One vote in favor, Caligula's. And those opposed? No! The motion is defeated. Up we bring the plan of Brother Nero's, viz. to swing the hymns and pious music. All those for will please respond by raising up a paw. For! And those against? Against! Very well. Now, the project of Legree's. Who is there here who totally agrees? I do. Legree votes for himself. And those opposed? Opposed! And now all those who favor Borgia's cause, it being to eliminate Santa Claus. Aye, aye, aye! And those opposed? It seems the women have a way with them. At least they have carried the day with them. Motion's carried. And now we'll decide which one of us will take Nick for a ride. We'll all draw lots and thus settle the moot point of who'll be sent to execute.
You are listening to This Is My Best, and in just a few moments we'll tell you the rest. But ere we return to this story of strife, a word, if you please, of a season that's rife with greetings and goodies and food served so fine with the elegant touch of a good table wine. A good table wine, Cresta Blanca California Sauterne. A wine that is golden, delicious, and light. A wine that will earn you praises galore. A distinctive dry wine that will add extra zest to your Christmas Day dinner made up of the best. The name, once again, Cresta Blanca Sauterne. And now back to the story, so we may all learned from our old friend Sotto Voce, visiting down where it's eternal noche.
This is your old friend Sotto Voce visiting down where it's eternal noche. Noche is Spanish for night, you know, merely a reference just to show that English isn't all I have to go by. Oh, well, I guess I've missed my calling. I should have been a lobbyist. You see, I'm stalling to give them time to finish the voting. Let's see, the weather. Now I'm quoting the Daily Hellion. Continued heat both overhead and under feet. Light showers of brimstone toward the evening hours. Well, that's what it says here. I'm not fibbing. How am I doing with my ad-libbing? This is a thing a Gabbard have fun with. Say, the drawing should soon be done with. We expect the results at any moment now, as soon as...
Lots have been drawn, and I'm glad to say the honor has fallen Nero's way. Now, Nero, you are charged with a great task. It's the evilest deed that we could ask a fiend to do. We'll be proud of you.
Just one moment. How do I get there? What do I wear? Is it dry or wet there? Is it fact or fancy or just word of mouth that he lives at the pole? Is it north or south? What shall I use when it comes to showdown? A gun or a dagger? Give me the lowdown.
Now, Nero, you needn't sound so tragic. You'll get to Earth by the blackest magic. To create an express elevator is simple for an expert spell creator. With a lot of pyrotechnic dazzle, we'll let you off at a hill in Basel, Switzerland. From there, you will make your way to the Arctic Circle, then break your way through ice with a blowtorch. After a while, you're bound to reach Santa's domicile. And once you get there, my dear Nero, all of our work will have gone for zero if you don't succeed in your assignment.
I know. But first we don't succeed. We can try and try again, but there's no need because nothing will come of it. Meaning no offense. Do you mind if I take my departure hence?
That, my friends, was a big brass gong. It's using this story right along to indicate that we're about to travel to points where the plot will further unravel. And now, if Ambassador Nero elects, we'll have another spot of sound effects.
Stranger, is this Basel, Switzerland? Or is it already Donner and Blitzerland?
Donner and Blitzerland's 5,000 miles away.
Thank you, mister, and good day. Tell me, stranger, because I've lost stock, where am I now?
In Vladivostok.
Listen, stranger, after all these centuries of blistering heat, now I have to suffer from freezing feet. I'm wincing with pain from this pesky toe.
Now speak English, Eskimo.
I declare by my frenetic soul I must be over the magnetic pole. My watch has stopped. Can that be right? I wonder. Light. A light! In a moment now you'll hear me knock on Santa's door, and he'll unlock it, never more to lock again.
Coming!
So is doom.
How do you do, sir?
Very well indeed, and you, sir?
Splendidly. Won't you come right in? Take your coat off. I see your chin is frozen. Also your hands and knees. Sit down while I get you some antifreeze.
Don't bother, sir. I will not be long. I'm about to perpetrate a frightful wrong. In short, I'm going to do away with...
Take it easy. Do not play with that gun. I know all about you.
Oh, really?
Haven't I had my agent scout you for weeks? You've come all this way to abolish Christmas. Now, let me say...
Listen, Santa, I'm no callow stripling. I've read Ernest Hemingway and Kipling. And also the shooting of Dan McGrew and plenty of detective stories, too. And just to show you what a broad guy I am, I've also read the Rubaiyat of Omar Khayyam. Do you think that a fellow with his reading so graded could have learned so little as to be dissuaded from a main objective? Why, don't make me giggle.
I'd feel a lot better if you wouldn't wiggle that gun so. Much as I'm impressed with your education, I honestly believe that a figure of your station should have given more thought to the ways of man and less devotion to the cult of Pan.
I came to dispatch a duty, so don't hand me any of this tutti-frutti. If you've any last words you want to say, then spell them. I haven't got all day.
Now, what's the rush? Unless I've counted wrong, the polar day has always been 6 months long.
Well, after I've disposed of you, I've got to hurry right back to hell, or they'll begin to worry.
Not about you, but about your career in homicide. You think that the mere loss of you would make them hysterical? Their only interest is numerical.
Think so?
Mephisto wants to rule just as much of humanity as possible for reasons of personal vanity.
By the sticks, you're right. To think that he'd dare. Are there any ladies here? Will you permit me to swear?
My answer to that is an emphatic no. There are several lady dolls in the toy room below.
Oh, Cassius. Oh, Claudius. Oh, Naphthaline. What a fool I've been. What a fool I've been. Wait, I think I see what you're after. You're as clever as a big-time Roman grafter. Do you think I could be that meanly deceptive to Satan? Why, Santa, I'm keenly perceptive. I can see right through all your clever ruses. Nero can be plenty foxy when he chooses. I'll have you know that I'm partly a dreamer, partly a wit, and partly a schemer. I'm part philosophical and also part mystic.
I suppose you fancy that you're highly artistic.
Fancy? Why, I have such a sense of beauty.
Don't hand me a helping of tutti frutti. Any creature who really had beauty in his soul would appreciate Christmas. He would know that the whole idea of the holiday was one of such power that all the fiends below might gnash their fangs and glower, yet never in a million years could do it harm. Because it has a glory, a greatness, a charm that you would know nothing about.
Yes, that's so.
The spirit that it venerates, the good cheer that it generates, are things far, far beyond you. For all your wealth, no man on earth could sell ye these.
Am I so cursed as that? Will you tell me, please, what beauties there may be that I have never seen?
Have you ever seen a Christmas tree, tall and green, smelling of woodlands covered with a sheen of silverness? Its branches bending low, with the fruits of human kindness instead of snow?
No.
Have you ever closely witnessed what takes place any Christmas morning on a young child's face? Or perceived any beauties purer than the joys distilled in the hearts of little girls and boys? Have you ever watched a fire in a fireplace on a Christmas Eve? Or listened to grace at table heavy with fruits and cakes and all the wonders that a kitchen makes? Fowls and pastries, wines and meats and nuts and raisins and candied sweets? Have you ever seen mistletoe hanging from a ceiling? In frosty air, heard a far bell pealing? Have you ever seen the beauty of a sprig of holly? Or felt for a moment how it feels to be jolly?
Golly.
Have you ever known how exceedingly pleasant it is to unwrap a Christmas present? Did you ever know how much cheer it lends to be wished a Merry Christmas by all your friends? Did you ever experience the fun of giving? Do you know at all of the joys of living?
I guess I don't. For all of me, I never knew such things could be. Just think how long in ignorance I've slept.
It must have been the company you've kept.
I was a wicked tyrant once, you know.
Ah, yes, but that was centuries ago. You really had no way of knowing.
Perhaps. I guess that I'll be going. I really should be getting on my way.
But do you have to? Don't you want to stay?
Well, you see, I'm just a bit...
Embarrassed?
Well, yes, sir.
Now, don't look so harassed. I know just why you came and who it was that sent you. But that's all done with. I take it you repent you of all your past mistakes.
With many pains and aches of conscience.
Then you are welcome here. Please take your hat off. Your coat. Your muffler also. Take your spat off. What happened to the other one? No matter. You're pretty thin. You'll presently be fatter. I serve good food here. I'll get you a platter of steak and mushrooms. Medium or rare. I'll bet that you're as hungry as a bear.
A while ago, you asked me if I understood good cheer. I do so now, St. Nicholas. I see it standing here. I want to ask you something, sir. Now, please don't give a yelp. Is there any sort of work to do where I can be of help?
Indeed there is, indeed there is. And I am glad you asked me. I have so many toys to make this year, the job's got past me. But first you sit and eat this bowl. I've got a little trifle I'd like for you to see. So will you sit right here and stifle your curiosity? I'll get it for you right away.
Well, who'd ever think it? Will wonders never cease? At last, after all these centuries. I'm so happy I could buzz.
Well, here it is, Nero, my boy. By way of Christmas presents, I offer you this little gift.
Oh, but Santa, for what reason?
A very good one, sir, to wit. Compliments of the season. Well, go ahead and open it. Why stand there so reflecting?
I'm just collecting thoughts, St. Nicholas. My thoughts. I'm just collecting. Just think how far a tiny bit of fellowship will carry us. Oh, well. I say, what's this? What's this? It's a Stradivarius. Why, thank you. Thanks a million times. I don't know what to say to you. I'll tell you what I'll do, St. Nick. I'll start right in and play for you. I'll play all night and day for you.
Fine. Here's some music. I'm sure you'll play it well. It's a little piece entitled Noel, Noel.
This is I. Remember me, your sotto voce friend? I've just come back to tell you that the story's at an end.
We join the audience here in Hollywood in applauding Orson Welles and Ray Collins in Norman Corwin's The Plot to Overthrow Christmas. Tonight's story on This Is My Best, presented by Shenley's Cresta Blanca wine. Mr. Wells will be back in a moment to tell you about next week. And now, once more, here is John McIntyre, your Cresta Blanca host.
Perhaps one of the most interesting accounts of Christmas in early colonial days is of a dinner given by a prominent Virginia family. The festive Christmas table abounded with an elegant variety of turkeys, roast beef, veal, ducks, hams, puddings, jellies, oranges, apples, nuts, figs, and a variety of fine wines and punches. Today in America, our meals are less elaborate. However, it's still in the best American tradition to serve a fine wine like Cresta Blanca with the Christmas dinner. It will lend a charming, a friendly touch to your festive Christmas table. Choose the Cresta Blanca California wine your guests like best and serve it well chilled. It may be a white table wine like Chablis or Riesling, or it may be a red table wine like Burgundy or Claret. No matter what type of wine you choose, as long as the words Cresta Blanca are on the bottle, you can rest assured you are serving the crest of quality in wine since 1889.
And now, Orson Welles.
Thank you, and I'm speaking also for two of the finest performers who ever stood before a microphone, Ray Collins, who was Santa Claus tonight, and John Brown, who was the devil. And now about next week's offering. On This Is My Best, I'm looking forward to it. It's a pleasure to tell you about it now. Two great American humorists are involved, the writer and artist James Thurber, from whose antic gallery of sorrowful dogs, wistful little men, and monstrous women has been chosen a strange and I think entirely perfect study, The Secret Life of Walter Mitty. The other great humorist involved is a writer, too, and a very fine one, but you know him just as well and love him as an actor. He will play Walter Mitty, and nobody anywhere ever could play it better than Robert Benchley. I know we'll all be listening, and till then, it's my privilege to remain, as always, obediently yours.
Cresta Blanca's new program is prepared in collaboration with Whit Burnett, editor of the book, This Is My Best. The music is composed and conducted by Bernard Katz. Ray Collins will soon be seen in Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer's The Hidden Eye. Don't forget next week, when your star on This Is My Best will be Robert Benchley in The Secret Life of Walter Mitty. And remember, whenever you dine with wine, and make it the best wine.
Cresta Blanca. Cresta Blanca. Cresta Blanca.
This Is My Best, the presentation of the Cresta Blanca Wine Company of Livermore, California, came to you from Columbia's Playhouse in Hollywood. Owen James speaking. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
WBNS Columbus.
You're listening to Old Time Radio USA's annual holiday programming of an Old Time Radio USA Christmas, brought to you by the WOTR Radio Network and me, Santa. Merry Christmas.
The Johnson Wax Program with Fibber, McGee, and Molly. The makers of Johnson's Wax for home and industry present Fibber, McGee, and Molly, written by Don Quinn and Phil Leslie, with music by the King's Men and Billy Mills Orchestra. Holiday season is a time when you want your home as bright and cheerful as you can make it. It's a time that proves as much as any other the value of protective wax housekeeping. If your floors, furniture, and woodwork have been waxed regularly with Johnson's Wax, then it's a very easy matter to put on the finishing touches and have that richly polished kind of home that everyone admires. There are many accessories from one end of the house to the other that you can protect and beautify with Johnson's Wax, either paste, liquid, or cream. Your windowsills, for example, picture frames, ornaments, lampshades, Venetian blinds, refrigerator. Well, many of you know the list as well as I. When you wax all these surfaces, you protect them because the wax itself takes the wear and the surface underneath is safe. When you go over your house tomorrow, try out several of these extra uses for Johnson's Wax. The most curious things in the world are the gyroscope, the pyramids, and the Squire of 79 Wistful Vista. And if you don't think he's curious, get a load of him sneaking a peek into the hall closet as we join Fibber, McGee, and Molly.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Look at all these Christmas presents. From Molly to Fibber with love. To Fibber from Molly with best wishes. To the best husband a woman ever had. Wonder who that's for. I thought I was the only husband she ever... Oh, well. Uh-oh. An envelope. Do not open before Christmas. Looks like it might be a war bond. Flap isn't sealed very tight either. If somebody's thumb ever got caught in there, it'd flip open like a... Oh, my goodness, it did it. Well, maybe she didn't even mean to seal it. And if it ain't sealed, I suppose it's okay to read it. My dear husband, get out of this hall closet and stop snooping. I like that. To think she'd think that I'd think of stooping to snoop when she...
McGee! McGee, where are you?
Oh, caught in the act. I better put this stuff back in here fast. This must be the new belt I've been hinting about. I hope this is a fountain pen. If this isn't a sweater, I'll...
McGee, where are you? What are you doing?
I'm trying to get the door closed on the hall closet, Molly. It's so full of stuff, it's sprung open. Aha! I got it. That was quick thinking, McGee, old man. If she ever caught you doing that stuff... I got to straighten out that closet right after Christmas.
McGee, what goes on here? I told you to stay away from that hall closet. You're much too snoopy.
Why, Molly,
Do you mean to stand there in one of the best-looking house dresses I ever saw and accuse your own husband by marriage of snooping?
Dearie, you can pump up more phony indignation than Donald Duck. Now get all that stuff put back in the closet. No, you better let me do it.
Something in there you don't want me to see, baby?
Well, if there was and I didn't and you already had, what's the difference?
I didn't unwrap a thing. I never even shook anything. Only thing that even aroused my curiosity is that big white package with the blue ribbon on it.
I don't remember any big white package with any blue... McGee, stop peering over my shoulder. Go read the paper.
Okay, but gee whiz, why can't...
Oh, hello, Alice.
Hello, Mrs. McGee. Hiya, Mr. McGee.
Hi, Alice. Hey, what'd you do to your hair?
Well, she's just wearing it differently, McGee. Himself here is getting very observant with Christmas coming on, Alice. Ordinarily, you could wear your scalp full of neon lights and he'd never notice it.
You like my hair with the buns over the ears, Mr. McGee?
Yes, I do, kid. I like the buns over the ears much better than that old sweet roll on top. Or that apple strudel you used to have falling down in back.
My hairdresser says they're wearing it this way in Paris now.
It's a nice hairdo, Alice. What do they call it?
Hair Hitler. because it's more trouble than it's worth.
Yes, I think so, too. You got your Christmas counterfacing all done?
Creepers, I thought I had, Mr. McGee, but now I'm as confused as a kangaroo at a pickpocket's convention.
Why, dear?
Well, I had a terrific billfold for Harold, but I had to change the tag to Ronnie because I'm giving Ronnie's cufflinks to Rick to take the place of Rick's cigarette lighter because I quick had to give the lighter to Jimmy when he showed up here last night with a simply super pair of earrings for me.
That is a little complicated, isn't it?
That's like the year when McGee gave me nothing but napkins and handkerchiefs, pillowcases, and tablecloths for Christmas. He took the laundry list downtown instead of the shopping list.
Well, gee whiz, how
Alice, we're not doing very much for Christmas this year. The Treasury Department had beat Santa Claus down the chimney.
Well, I told all the boys not to spend their money foolishly on things for me this year. I told them all to take whatever money they intended to spend on me and put it in war bonds.
Good for you, Alice. Use the boys' dough to back up the doughboys.
Certain. Anyway, I just assumed they gave me war bonds as anything else. Got to get back to the post office. Goodbye.
There's a girl who has her heart in the right place. On her sleeve.
I don't know. She's a lot like I was when I was a girl, McGee. Except that she has 20 boyfriends and I just had you.
Yeah, well, that wasn't because you were unpopular, Snooky. That was because there was an ugly rumor around Peoria that McGee had put a bear trap in Molly Driscoll's porch swing.
That was more than a rumor, sweetheart. For 15 years after that, my father never sat down without first slapping the chair with his cane. Now, listen, go away while I get this stuff back in the closet.
How about that white package with the blue ribbon on it?
McGee, I swear I know absolutely nothing about that.
You wouldn't kid me, would you? After all, when mysterious packages are hid away in the closet...
Heavenly days, what was that?
My belt. It busted. Remember how I've been telling you my belt was on its last legs?
Well, it's a funny place to wear a belt. But I do remember you mentioning it several times.
It looked awful, too. Supposed to have been genuine calf, but I'll bet a cookie its mother was a paper mill. Doggone it, my last belt, too. Oh, well, I can wear a necktie around my waist so I can get downtown and buy a new one.
All right, dearie, all right. You win. Here, open this package.
Why, this is a Christmas package. Gee, I shouldn't open this till Christmas.
Open it.
Well, okay. Well, what do you know? A new belt. Well, I'll be a monkey's uncle if this isn't a coincidence.
Remember me to your nephew.
And with my initials on the buckle. Oh, this is a beauty, Molly. Thanks ever so much.
Don't mention it, and Merry Christmas. First installment.
My gosh, this is really unexpected.
Well, it shouldn't be. The way you've been talking about a new belt the past few weeks, you should have taken out a hinting license.
Here, throw this old one away, will you?
All right, I'll put it in. Why, this is strange.
Huh?
Looks like it had been cut halfway through.
Oh, well, I've had a very sharp appetite lately, and my weight...
Come in.
Hello,
Molly. Hello, Gary.
Hello, Dr. Gamble.
Hi, you big front man for the Stork Club. Why call me Gary? You finally agree with me that I look like Cooper?
No, that's just my abbreviation for garrulous.
Why, Dr. McGee is not garrulous.
I should say not. I haven't been out with a girl since I married Molly.
Yes, I know. You two are the living exhibit A for the scientific theory of the attraction of opposites. Molly is so good-looking and sweet and quiet.
And I'm?
Yes, indeed, in spades. Say, what's all this Christmas stuff around here? You been unwrapping a present, McGee?
Well, he just broke his belt, Doctor, and as long as I was giving him one for Christmas, I thought he might as well have it now.
Beauty, ain't it, Doc? Real pigskin.
I shall not descend to any of the obvious retorts, my boy. It is a very handsome hunk of haberdashery, but aren't you a little ashamed of accepting your gifts now? According to my calendar, it's several days until Christmas.
Well, I was just trying to keep up his spirits and his pants for the next week, Doctor.
What do you use for a calendar, Doc? Cut a notch in a patient for each day of the week?
No, I just glance in the mirror. If I seem to have aged 10 years, I know another day has crept by.
You know, you ought to go away for a good long rest, Doctor. Someplace where you can't get near a telephone, like any drugstore.
Don't think I wouldn't love it, my dear, but I've got to stick around for the Christmas rush.
What Christmas rush? You running a black market in pink pills?
No, but us Cowtown pasteurs expect certain seasonal phenomena about this time of year. Like kids swallowing Christmas tree ornaments. Selfish little animals that they are, an ornament so hard to get. And then, too, digital callosity is almost an annual epidemic.
Heavenly days, what on earth is digital callosity?
Calluses on the fingers, from people rubbing them over greeting cards to see if they're really engraved.
Well, it's nice to have you drop in, Doctor. Particularly without McGee starting an argument with you.
No, just a darn minute. Whom starts all the arguing with whom? Doc always starts them, not me.
Oh, now, don't give us that, little Sir Decibel. You're as bad-tempered as a dime store jackknife, and you know it.
I don't know any such a dirty thing. Just because you always start snarling at me with your big fat teeth don't mean I got a bad temper.
Why, you peripatetic little biological aberration. You have the neurological reactions of a schizophrenic troglodyte.
King's X.
What do you mean, King's X?
Doc don't play fair. I don't know what he's talking about.
Well, I'll call it off till I look up some one-syllable words, McGee. Anyway, I gotta get back to my office. It's probably full of expectant fathers.
Expectant fathers?
Yes, they expect me to tell them beforehand whether to have the nursery decorated in pink or blue.
What do you tell them, Doc?
I give them an evasive answer. I tell them to go fry a pig. Well, Merry Christmas, folks.
Thank you, Doctor. Same to you.
And a Happy New Year, Doc.
Isn't he a sweet old character?
Yeah, great guy. It was a great loss to medicine when he started studying it. What a patient he'd have been.
Say, I wonder if it was he who sent us the big white package with the blue ribbon on it.
Are you kidding? You don't have to play coy with me, Tootsie. I wasn't born yesterday.
Well, you might as well have been. You're so changeable. Now, if you'll, McGee, if you'll go away someplace while I straighten up this closet.
I'll run over to Kramer's drugstore. I gotta buy a new fountain pen.
Oh, no, McGee. Don't do that.
Huh? Why not?
Well, why do you need a new fountain pen just this minute? Can't you use your old one?
My old one? I only got one.
Well, I meant, what's the matter with it?
Well, the point is pigeon-toed. Writes 2 lines instead of 1.
But maybe you'll get...
When I registered with it at a hotel last summer, the clerk looks at my signature and says, "You gentlemen want twin beds?" You go ahead and fix the closet, kiddo. I'll run over to Kramer's and get a fountain.
Oh, dear. You win again, McGee. Here, open this package.
What do you mean?
Go ahead, open it.
Well, okay. Well, I'll be a new fountain pen. Gee, thanks, kid. Oh, this is wonderful.
Merry Christmas. Second installment.
Boy, this is a wonderful pen. Just the kind I wanted, too. And just when I needed it. Why, you could knock me over with a feather, Molly. I never dreamed you... Hey, what are you looking for?
A feather.
Billy Mills and the orchestra and Jingle Bell.
Don't bother me, McGee. I've almost got this closet straightened up again.
How about that big white package with the blue ribbon on it? Does it gurgle or rattle or squeak or anything?
Well, I haven't touched it. Somebody around here's got to keep his curiosity under control. And as long as there's only two of us, it looks like I'm elected.
Hey, this is a wonderful pen you gave me, Molly.
You like it, dearie?
It's marvelous. Only one thing wrong with it that I can see.
My goodness, what's that?
I just worked a crossword puzzle with it, and it don't spell very good.
That isn't the pen, that's the ink.
Oh. Well, I'm really quite gruntled with it.
You mean disgruntled?
No, I'm very happy. It's the finest pen Hello, friend.
Hello there, Mr. Wilcox.
Hi, waxy old man. How do you like the new belt Molly gave me for Christmas?
Say, it's beautiful. But aren't you folks a little previous with your Christmas presents?
Well, he was getting so snoopy, Mr. Wilcox, I just had to give him a belt one way or another. So I took the easy way.
Look, she gave me a fountain pen, too. Ain't that a darb? Writes 10,000 words without filling. Don't know how many he'll write when I fill it. Don't you get it, kids? I says it right.
Ain't funny, McGee.
I thought it had a kind of a funny taint. You like the pen, Junior?
It's very handsome, pal. But better get your name engraved on it. Be ashamed to lose a nice pen like that.
Well, I couldn't get it engraved till after Christmas, Mr. Wilcox. I took it to 7 different jewelers, too.
Gee, did you really, Molly?
Yes, and I got quite an inferiority complex. Leaning over $80,000 worth of diamond necklaces, trying to get a $3 job of engraving done.
Well, gee, you should have taken it to my cousin, Big Bill Wilcox, on Oak Street, Molly. One of the finest engravers in the country.
I thought all the really great engravers were working for the government, Waxy.
Oh, he used to.
In Washington?
No, Leavenworth. That's why they call him Big Bill. He got caught making 20s out of 10s.
They put him to work making little ones out of big ones for making big ones out of little ones, eh?
He's a terrific engraver, though. Well, here, wait a minute. Here, take a look at this common, ordinary little pin.
Well, what about it?
Well, look at the head of it.
Kind of scratched up, isn't it, Junior?
Look at it through this magnifying glass, which I just happen to have with me.
Uh-oh.
Well, heavenly days, isn't that marvelous?
Let me look at it. Well, I'm a son of a gun. What does it say, Junior? Can't quite read it without my glasses.
It says you don't have to be sharp as a pin to know that Johnson's self-polishing glow coat is the finest beautifier and protector of linoleum.
Imagine writing all that on the head of a pin.
Oh, there's more than that. It says if you're stuck with faded worn linoleum, bring it back to life and beauty with Johnson's glow coat, the polish that shines as it dries.
My gosh, he is quite an engraver, isn't he, Waxy?
Well, you know, the funny part of it is, it only took him 20 minutes or less to do it.
Oh, that's too much.
Same length of time it takes for a glow coat to dry to a mirror-like finish on your linoleum. Now, wasn't that a coincidence?
Amazing. Here, let me put the pin back in your lapel, Mr. Wilcox. I'm afraid it might get lost.
Oh, ouch.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's your story, Junior, and you got stuck with it.
Well, here, let me take your fountain pen, pal. I'll have Big Bill engrave it for you.
Thank you, Mr. Wilcox.
Thanks, Junior.
Don't mention it. I'll have it back Friday.
Okay.
Isn't he a sweet old... Oh, no, that's Dr. Gamble.
Look, Molly, no kidding. That big white package with the blue ribbon on it. Is that for me?
I tell you, I don't know a thing about it, McGee.
Cross your heart?
Cross my heart.
Well, my gosh, somebody must have. Hey, maybe Beulah put it there. Oh, Beulah. Hey, Beulah.
You call me Miss McGee?
Why should I? You never call me Beulah.
Mr. McGee wanted to know about this big white package with a blue ribbon on it, Beulah.
Did you put it in the closet here, Beulah?
No, sir. That package is a complete stranger to me.
Well, that's strange. Oh, well, we'll find out when we open it at Christmas time. Have you got all your shopping done, Beulah?
Yes, ma'am, practically. All I got left to get stuff for is Papa and Ira.
Ira? Who's Ira?
He's my one and only, sir. At least he's one of the few and far between. Ira, he's the FBI man.
Oh, heavenly days. Federal Bureau of Investigation?
No, ma'am. Friendly but ignorant.
What does he do, Beulah?
He's the insurance man, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he specializes in life insurance with double indignity.
Indemnity.
Yes, only he may have to give it up on account of a greeting card he got this morning.
On account of a greeting card?
Yes, sir. You say from the President of the United States, greeting.
What's his present status, Beulah?
5'9.5" in his socks, Sam.
No. How's he classified now?
I classify him as ready and willing, sir. So he's suffering with flat feet and astigmatism.
Tism.
Oh, yes, tis, ma'am. He's so short-sighted he don't know his best friend to cross a taffy pull.
Well, they don't pull taffy in the Army anyway, Beulah. He'll be okay if he can see well enough to pull a sergeant's leg.
That's what I mean. Love that man.
I think we ought to open up that package. I think it must have been delivered by mistake.
Well, it might have been at that, McGee. There's no tag on it or anything.
You think we ought to?
Well, I don't...
Yes, I think we ought to. One side, baby. I'll soon solve this mystery.
Well, if you really... Heavenly days, it's a beautiful negligee.
A negligee? Oh, my gosh.
What's the matter?
Oh, gee whiz. Oh, my. That was my present for you, baby. I bought it a month ago and forgot all about it. If I ain't the dumbest bunny...
Oh, now, McGee, I think it's lovely and just what I wanted. It's the most...
Oh, now, Hoon. Come in.
Hi, mister. We're all ready.
Ready? Who's all ready for what?
Kenny and Johnny and Buddy and Reddy and me.
Huh?
We're all ready to sing. Come on in, kids.
Well, folks, 3 years ago, Ken Darby of our King's Men wrote for our Christmas show an original musical setting for the poem. It was the night before Christmas. Everyone seemed to like it so well that we've been asked to do it every Christmas since. And we're glad to do it again tonight.
Okay, Mr. McGee. Go on. Sit down now.
Okay.
You and Miss McGee sit in a circle. You sit at the piano, Kenny. Ready, everybody? A 1 and a 2 and a 3.
chuckle and a smile. I knew all the while I had nothing to dread. He spoke not a word, but went straight to his work and filled all the stockings.
Oh, boy.
Then turned with a jerk. Then laying a finger aside of his nose and giving a nod up the chimney he rose. He sprang to his sleigh, to his feet, gave up his arm, and away they all flew like the dawn of the song. Till I heard him exclaim, and he drove. Merry Christmas to all, and to all, good Here's the night after Christmas, and all through the house, not a creature is stirring, not even the mouse. The presents are scattered and broken, I fear, and St. Nicholas won't come again for a year. The children are nestled all warm in their wee little beds, while memories of sugar plums dance in their wee little heads. Mama in her kerchief and I in my cap are settled at last for a long winter's
Ladies and gentlemen, 2,000 years ago, a star shone over Bethlehem to light the way to peace and goodwill on earth. Tonight, that star is reflected in the windows of millions of your homes.
So our Christmas wish to all of you is that the men and women who have gone out to fulfill the promise of that symbol may soon return. Mission accomplished.
Good night.
Good night, all.
I heard him exclaim, and he drove out of sight. Merry Christmas to all, and to all. Good
An old-time Radio USA Christmas, one of my favorite things to listen to this time of year. There are so many to choose from. How about I play this one next? Merry Christmas, everyone.
Yes, it's another case for that most famous of all manhunters, the detective whose ability at solving crime is unequaled in the history of detective fiction, Nick Carter, Master Detective. Tonight's curious adventure, a special Christmas story.
Nick Carter's Christmas Adventure, or the mystery of the reluctant contributor.
We've been pretty lucky so far, haven't we?
Yes, Guppy, we have.
Which is another way of saying that folks are usually willing to contribute to your settlement house Christmas party every year, Nick.
You know, Guppy, I was just thinking about this last name on our list.
Yeah?
Rasper. I don't know him personally. Do you?
No, I don't, but somebody must have thought he was rich enough or interested enough in the work to make a substantial contribution. Oh, here's the... Hey, is this... Hey, Nick, what's that address again?
576 Milton Avenue.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right. And there's his name on the door plate. Well, let's take a look, Scubby.
Well, gosh, this doesn't make sense, Nick. A guy with dough doesn't hide away in a place like this.
Well, knock on the door anyhow.
Doesn't seem to be anybody here, Nick.
No, hold it, Scubby. I hear someone coming.
Who is it?
I'm Nicholas Carter. May I speak to Mr. Rasper, please?
Nick Carter, eh?
Yes, yes. And this is my assistant, Scubby Wilson.
How do you do?
You, Mr. Rasper?
Yes. Well, come in. It's cold out there. You're letting all the heat out.
Oh, beg your pardon. Come on, Scubby.
Yeah, I'm in, Nick. I'm in.
Well, what was it you wanted?
Well, Mr. Rasper, I've come to see if you would care to make a contribution to my Christmas party fund.
I never make contributions.
Oh, but you didn't let Nick finish, sir. The fund provides food and extra clothing for the needy and deserving
The
children.
charity department's still working, isn't it?
Well, of course, Mr. Rasper, but my object is to provide an inspiration for the young people who are underprivileged.
People who haven't got any money are always trying to get it from those who have.
Then you aren't interested in seeing that the children of the Lincoln Hall district are helped to a little happiness on Christmas Day?
No, I'm not. Christmas is old-fashioned. I don't believe in it. It's a waste of money and time. Good day.
Oh, well, Mr. Rasper, it's always been a lot of fun for me personally, and I must say that I've always felt better for celebrating it.
And I'm inclined to agree with Scubby, Mr. Rasper. Christmas has always been a bright spot in my life, and I feel sure that if you knew the good it has done throughout the world, it'd make you change your mind.
Rubbish.
Well, in any case, a Merry Christmas to you.
Good day to you. Merry Christmas, indeed. It's a lot of nonsense.
Come on, Nick. Let's get back to civilization.
You know, Scubby, that man's wealthy, no doubt about that. And yet he's soured on Christmas. And everything it stands for.
You said a mouthful, Nick.
You know, Scubby, there must be a reason why he thinks that way. And I'd like to find out what it is.
Yeah, but you haven't anything to work on, Nick.
Oh, no, Scubby, I haven't, not yet. But look here, I can finish up whatever has to be done this afternoon. Suppose you hop down to the newspaper office and go through the files there. There might just be something we could learn about Rasper that way.
Okay, Nick, I'll be glad to.
Then I'll have Riley check through the files at headquarters. It's a long shot, but something might turn up.
Sure, and maybe Patsy has run into something while she's been working down at the settlement house. She might know somebody who knows something about Rasper.
Yeah, she might have that. I'll ask her about it.
Okay.
And maybe with all of us working together on it, we may learn why Rasper's so dead set against Christmas. I'd certainly like to find out.
Hello, is that you, Nick? Riley talking. I've been through my files here, and I can't find anything charged against a man named Ben Rasper. Oh, he was licensed to do business with a man named Howard Lowe, but Lowe died some years ago. Otherwise, Rasper's just a successful businessman. Yeah, that's right. Tell you what, though, Nick. There's an old fella named Fred Anderson who used to be on the force who knows Rasper. For sure. You can find him at Lincoln Hall, where you're giving the party. Oh, he's the watchman there now. Okay, Nick, that's all right. See you tomorrow.
Hello. Oh, yes, Scubby? Oh, you did, huh? Sports remoter, huh? Well. What was that name again? Chris Baum. Why, yes, I recall. Oh, no, I'll be there in about an hour, so I want to call Patsy first. Right. And thanks, Scubby. Bye. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride one horse open sleigh. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what... Hey, Patsy. How's everything, huh? Oh, fine. I'm coming down to the hall. Is there anything you want me to bring along? Uh-huh. Why, sure, I can do that. But will that be enough, though? Okay. Yeah, Scubby just called. Oh, he found out something about Rasper. What? You did, too? How old is he? Named Jimmy, huh? And he's coming to our party? Oh, fine, Patsy. Okay, I'll see you in a little while. Bye. Oh, that's fine. We've collected enough to do this year's party up right. Now let's get organized. Riley, your job will be to get the kids and the needy persons rounded up.
Oh, sure, Nick. I'll take care of it. I got your lists and the list from the social worker and from the church down there. And there are plenty of others who'll need a lift this year, believe me.
I know it, Riley, and I'll depend on you. Scubby, it's your job to see that the tree and decorations and gifts are taken care of.
Don't worry, Nick. Decorating is my middle name. I'll make Lincoln Hall look like $1 million in cash.
Good boy. And Patsy, you'll see to it that there's plenty to eat and drink for the party, so I won't have to worry about that.
I'll take care of the bills, and you have the letters of credit the stores gave us. You know how to do that.
Sure thing, Nick. I've been through it with you often enough before. I ought to know what you want by this time.
What are you going to be doing, Nick?
Me? Well, Riley, I'm going to do a little detecting. I'm going to look into those tips you, Patsy, and Scubby gave me about those people who know Ben Rasper. And by the time I'm through, I hope to find out why it is that he hates Christmas the way he does. And then, well, then, maybe I'll be able to do something about it.
Hello? Yes, this is Rasper talking. Yes? I sent you the bill, didn't I? Well, what if it is due on the 27th? No, just because it's a holiday is no reason for bills to be unpaid. Goodbye. Darn fool nonsense, that's what it is. There's a lot of foolish...
Still talking big, ain't you, Rasper?
Who's there? What do you want?
Don't you remember me, Rasper?
No, I don't remember you. Who are you?
They used to call me the Kid. Chris the Kid.
Chris?
Sometimes known as the Human Fish.
Chris, you? Well?
It's been a long time, Rasper, hasn't it?
How'd you find me? Who sent you here?
A fellow named Nick Carter told me I'd find you here in your office, even if it is Christmas Eve.
Nick Carter? Oh, yes. Wanted me to give him some money for some fool party.
Oh, for the party at Lincoln Hall, I guess. He's never asked me for anything. Just gave me what I needed, when I needed it.
So he hired you to come here and take up my time to get...
No, he didn't send me here. Just said I'd find you here, that's all. I came here on my own accord, just to wish you a Merry Christmas. Thought you'd say that. Well, I don't mind, because it's on account of Nick Carter that I can stand on my own feet again. Not on account of you.
What's that?
You mind if I sit down? It was on Christmas Eve that we won our first fight, wasn't it?
Fight? Oh,
yeah.
A long time ago.
Yeah, it was a long time ago. I can remember the noise of the crowd, the glare of the lights, and the smoke curling around and the brightness over the ring, and you leaning over me with that wet towel.
You got him going, Chris. Another one like that last round, and you'll have him in the ropes for the count. How do you feel now, kid?
I'm okay, Rasper. Just let me at him. I don't have to wait anymore. It's my meat right now.
You take your orders from me, kid. I'm the brains here. When you get the signal from me, you give it to him.
Okay, Rasper. You're the boss.
Go ahead, kid. Keep that left up. Keep your shoulder high. Keep it up. That's right, kid. That's the ticket. Now you can take him. Get set. Take him, Chris. Now!
There were a lot of those little affairs after that, Rasper. And I always did what I was told, huh?
Yes. You're a good fighter, Chris. Good fighter.
I made a lot of money for us in those fights, Rasper.
Well,
a lot of money.
The old days, Chris. Lots of water's gone under lots of bridges since then.
I know. And the percentage you paid me didn't last long either. It went just like that water. But I didn't care much about things like that. Till the day a friend of mine came and gave me a warning tip. That started me thinking.
Oh, kid, how do you feel?
Oh, hello, Rasper. Where you been? I wanted to talk to you.
I've been around. What's up?
I got a tip today. You're signing up Timmy O'Day. You're going to manage him.
Who told you that?
Never mind. Is it true?
That depends.
Depends on what?
Look, kid, you're getting slow. O'Day's fresh. He'll be the next champ. If he wins this fight with you tonight, I'm taking him over.
And if I win tonight?
I'm taking O'Day over anyhow. We've been together a long time, kid, and it don't pay to get into too much of a rut.
So that's all it means to you, is it? Money. The payoff, huh? What about all the years we've known each other? What about the things we've been through? Why, you...
Don't get yourself all in a sweat, kid. It isn't good for you. You'll get your cut anyway. Don't worry. You'll get your cut. I'll see you later.
Rasper, what'll I do? Tell me what to do. I can't see him. My eyes all puffed up. He's cutting me to ribbons. Tell me what to do, Rasper.
Don't bother me, kid. Use your own judgment. You're on your own, as of now.
But Rasper, you always...
You're on your own, kid.
I can still see you sitting there in the ring corner, laughing at me. But that was the last thing I saw for a long time. O'Day saw to that. You must have coached him pretty thorough about my style. And then you really cashed in. Well, I haven't got much myself, but I'm still able to wish you a Merry Christmas, Rasper. Although I don't think you'll ever have one.
Chris,
I got some things to do, Rasper. Carter asked me to pick up some things for the party at Lincoln Hall tomorrow. We always have a swell time at Carter's Christmas parties. Too bad you can't enjoy anything like that anymore. Well, as I said before, Rasper, Merry Christmas.
How can a man work with his mind whirling like a merry-go-round? Christmas Eve. God, it's a fine excuse for people to go around yelling at each other in the streets. Disturbing a man when he wants to get some work done. Oh, I might as well close the office and get some rest. Would have been home by now if the kid, if Chris hadn't taken up so much time. What Chris does for a living now. Wonder if... it's none of my concern. Get home and get some sleep. That's what I need. Who's that? I'm closing up. Come back tomorrow morning.
Oh, I'm glad I got here before you left, Ben.
Who is it?
It's Nina, Ben.
Oh, Nina.
I only stopped by to speak to you for a moment. It's getting quite late, and
Well, sit down for a moment, Nina.
Oh, thank you.
Here, let me get your chair.
I suppose it's rather bold of me to come after all this time, but
Why, no, Nina, no. I'm glad you did. Is there something you want?
Oh, no. No, there's nothing you can do for me, Ben. Jimmy and I are doing very nicely. I just wanted to wish you a Merry Christmas. I was in the neighborhood doing some shopping for the party that Mr. Carter's giving at Lincoln Hall tomorrow, and
How is he, Nina? Jimmy, I mean.
Oh, he's fine, Ben. He's full of life and interested in everything. He has a good head on his shoulders, and he's very handsome, too.
Oh, that's fine. Just fine.
You're looking a little tired, Ben. Are you feeling well?
Yes, of course. I've been working hard, that's all. I don't spend much time at home. Not much reason to.
That's the way you wanted it, Ben. Don't you remember?
Nina, where are you?
Oh, Jimmy, there's Daddy. Now, wait here for Mommy like a good boy, won't you? I'm coming, Ben. I've been keeping your dinner warm for you. I hope you'll... What's the matter, Ben? You look as if
That's nothing, Nina, nothing. I'm in a hurry, that's all.
Well, you're always in a hurry, aren't you? Never have time for...
Where's my dinner?
Sit down, Ben. I'll have it for you right away. This plate is hot now. Be careful that you don't burn yourself.
I won't. Salt, please.
Here you are, dear. Ben, when you're finished, won't you take time enough out of your business to help me get the tree decorated? I know Jimmy's too young to know much about it, but I'd love to have his Christmas all ready for him in the morning. Look, I'll put him to sleep right away, and then we can start. See, I have some holly and mistletoe for the fireplace, and some...
I won't have time for that, Nina.
But, Ben, it's Christmas Eve. Surely you
I have to get back to the office. I'm putting on a championship match for O'Day in January, and the things have gone haywire. Something that can't wait till tomorrow. I have to get it organized right away, that's all.
Ben, this is Christmas Eve. Tomorrow will be Jimmy's first Christmas. Doesn't that mean anything to you?
You and Jimmy celebrate Christmas any way you want to, Nina. I've something more important to do. Business is more important than sentiment. You certainly can see that.
Yes, Ben. I can see that. I've been seeing it more and more during the last few years. I thought that when Jimmy came, maybe you... No, I was wrong, wasn't I, Ben? You'd even let your love for business break up our home.
Break up our... Oh, don't be melodramatic, Nina.
I'm not being melodramatic, Ben. I'm trying to be very calm and quiet about it. I've had a lot of time to think when I've sat alone here night after night. And those days on end when you've been away attending to your business.
And what has come out of all this thinking you've done?
Just this, Ben. I'm not going on any longer. Either you belong to your family, or your family will get along without you.
I have to rush, Nina. Good night.
Not good night, Ben. It's goodbye. Jimmy and I are leaving tonight.
Look, I haven't time to talk about it with you now, Lena. By the way, this will probably take most of the night.
Good night. Goodbye, Ben, and Merry Christmas.
I never had much of a chance to make it up to you, Nina.
You've had all the chance you wanted, Ben.
But, Nina,
I just dropped by to say hello and to give you a wish for happiness during the holidays. It's hard not to share with you the joy I have with Jimmy. I wish you could see his eyes dance at Mr. Carter's Christmas parties. Unfortunately, on what little I make, we can't very well afford to have our Christmas at home, but somehow we don't miss it. Everybody has such a grand time at Mr. Carter's party, and Jimmy does enjoy every minute that he's there. Goodness, I'll have to be on my way. Jimmy's waiting for me, and I have to make one more stop for Mr. Carter. Good night, Ben, and Merry Christmas.
This stuff doesn't taste like anything. Nothing at all. I can't understand what's got into me. It's good food, fixed the same as it always is. It just doesn't taste right, that's all. Yeah, what's that? Someone at the door this time of the night? I'm coming.
Hello, Ben. It's Fred Anderson. Glad I found you at home.
I'm always at home this time of night.
Yes, I suppose you are, Ben. Can I come in?
Of course.
I brought your package, Ben. Nick Carter sent me around with it. Said you'd probably be here alone tomorrow and he'd like you to have it.
Carter? What's Carter sending me?
You might open it and see, Ben. I'm no mind reader.
That's any reason why Carter would want a bottle of port wine. Let's see the card. Merry Christmas from Nick Carter. What's the idea? You know anything about this, Fred?
No, but Nick Carter's a funny duck. Does lots of things people don't expect him to.
Why, I don't even know the man. Only saw him once, and then... You want a glass of this wine, Fred?
Don't mind if I do, Ben. Seeing as it's Christmas Eve, I don't mind at all.
There's some glasses here somewhere. Say, how do you open this thing?
Here, I'll do it for you, Ben. Yeah, that does it. Well, go ahead, you open it.
Yes? Oh, yes, all right.
Well, there ain't anything to drinking with me, Ben?
Huh? Oh. Yes, I will.
That's the ticket. Well, here's Merry Christmas for you, Ben.
Yes, Merry Christmas. Well, how have you been keeping yourself, Fred?
Oh, I've been sort of working around Lincoln Hall since I was retired from the force.
I see.
You know, while I was coming here tonight, I was thinking about those old days when I walked a beat. Funny, most folks call them the good old days, but I don't.
You did all right in those times, didn't you?
Oh, sure, I got along. I was just thinking about the different attitudes folks have nowadays toward being given a hand. They appreciate it more, it seems to me.
Charity's still charity, Fred. That hasn't changed.
I guess it's all in the point of view, Ben. I guess you haven't changed with the times. That night I met you near the bridge. I was sure you were going to see that you were headed in the wrong direction and wake up in time. Huh? Remember that night, Ben? It was Christmas Eve. You'd just come from the arena. They'd handed you your walking papers because you'd let them down cold.
Oh, Merry Christmas, officer.
Oh, Merry Christmas to you, sir. Well, what you doing out on a night like this, Ben? I thought you'd be up at the arena getting the New Year's fights lined up.
What? Oh, it's you, Anderson. No, I'm not at the arena anymore.
That's so. What happened?
They decided tonight they'd rather have Davis take over my job. Fine Christmas present that is.
Well, that's tough news, Ben. What you going to do now?
I don't know. I can't seem to think straight.
Oh, that's a crazy way for a man like you to talk. On a Christmas Eve, too?
Christmas Eve. That's never been anything but a jinx to me. First I get stuck with that no-good fighter all day. Then Nina leaves me and takes my son with her. And now the arena throws me out.
Well, maybe you better stop and find out what it is you're doing wrong, Ben. Maybe you're the one that's to blame, not Christmas Eve.
They all take advantage of me. I made all the money I could for them, but I'm not going to do it anymore.
Take it easy, Ben. Take it easy. You better go home and think it over.
I have thought it over, Fred, and I know what the answer is. I'm going to make money for myself and nobody else. I'll show these people. I'll make so much money they'll come crawling to me on their knees. I won't have to ask for anybody's sympathy.
It don't pay to think like that, Ben. You'll regret it. Now, look. I know that Bill Boynton, who runs the shoe store down on Elm Street, is looking for a man to buy in with him. Why don't
Me work in a shoe store? Not in your life, Fred. I'm going after the big money. Big money. That's the only thing people understand, and I'm going to get it.
Well, now you got it, Ben. You're one of the richest men in town. And what's it got you?
Why, I don't know.
Ben, it's too bad you don't get around and see what nice people there are in the world. People like this Carter fella, for instance. It does a man good to know people like him. Makes you feel there really is a Santa Claus, to see him bring the smiles to the kids' faces at those parties he gives down at Lincoln Hall. Well, I'll be getting back there now, Ben. I've got a big day tomorrow. I'm not as young as I used to be. Well, Merry Christmas to you, Ben. I'll tell Nina I saw you. She'll be at the party tomorrow with young Jimmy. Good night, Ben.
Patsy, how's it going?
Oh, Nick, it's wonderful. They're having a grand time.
Oh, that's fine, Patsy. Hey, Patsy, look. Over there by the door. What do you see?
Where, Nick? Well, who's that?
That, Patsy, is Ben Rasper. Oh, I hope he's come to join the party.
For heaven's sake, that's the man I've heard so much about. Well, he looks scared to death, Nick.
Look, Patsy, will you go over and make him welcome?
Oh, of course, Nick.
Good.
Hello there. Merry Christmas. I'm Patsy Bowen. Won't you join us?
How do you do? I hope I'm not... Do you mind if I just watch?
Oh, of course not. Come right in.
I wanted to thank Mr. Carter for the gift he sent, and I...
Nick's right over there near the tree. Come along.
Children seem to be enjoying themselves, don't they?
They certainly do. There's Lieutenant Riley handing out the gifts there. And Scotty Wilson with him, standing next to Mr. Carter.
Yes, I met Mr. Wilson.
Just look at Lieutenant Riley. He's having as much fun as the children.
So I see. Oh, there's a nice-looking boy there, Miss... what's his name?
Where?
That one over there.
Oh, that's Jimmy. He's a nice boy. His mother was a big help to him in getting the refreshments ready. There she is over there on the far side of the hall with the table, see?
Oh, yes. Her son.
Yes.
Yes,
Nick?
I see.
Oh, Nick, we have a new guest.
Oh, hello there, Mr. Rasper. Merry Christmas. I'm glad you could join us.
Thank you, Mr. Carter. I came to express my appreciation for the gift you sent me. I hardly know how
Make nothing of it, Mr. Rasper. Your being here is thanks enough for me.
Mr. Carter, that little boy coming along the line there, Jimmy, I think his name is. Do you think I might give him... could I hand him his gift, do you think?
Why, certainly. Riley. Mr. Rasper here wants to lend a hand. Can you use him?
Sure thing, Nick. Come along, Mr. Rasper.
Thank you, Mr. Carter.
Well, you just hand them these packages as they come along, Mr. Rasper. And enjoy yourself, man.
I will. There, little girl. Merry Christmas.
Oh, thank you.
Say, she liked it, didn't she?
Well, they all appreciate a little kindness, Mr. Rasper. Now, here's a gift for that little boy there.
Hello. Jimmy, here you are. And a Merry Christmas, son.
Oh, well, that was the day for you. Gosh, I haven't had so much fun since last year.
You played those games harder than any two kids in the bunch, Scubby.
Yeah, and lost practically every time.
You're kidding. Well, you really have to be in condition to keep up with these kids. Boy, they're wonders. Hey, where do they get all that energy?
That will be one of the world's great mysteries forever, Scubby. Nick, what are you thinking so hard about?
Oh, I was just thinking of the way Mr. Rasper took to the party.
Oh?
Hey, don't you mean the way the party took to Mr. Rasper, Nick?
Yeah, I never saw a man open up the way he did. Why, it was wonderful. The children just flocked around him.
And that's one of the greatest jobs that Nick Carter ever did.
What do you mean, Riley?
Well, Patsy, you'll never believe it, but when Nick and I went to see Rasper to get a contribution to the party, he was the hardest case of unadulterated unpleasantness I ever saw. But somehow Nick managed to get under his skin and bring out, well, what you saw tonight.
Well, for heaven's sake. How did you do it, Nick?
Well, it wasn't difficult, Patsy. You see, I could see when we first spoke to Rasper that he was fighting something. But I didn't know what it was. But from what Riley, Scubby, and you told me, I found that 3 different times Christmas Eve had brought him bad luck. First, the fighter O'Day. Then Mrs. Rasper had left Rasper on a Christmas Eve, taking his son Jimmy with her. And third, he'd lost his promoter's connection at the arena, also on Christmas Eve. Well, the whole thing added up. Rasper associated Christmas Eve with a list of unfortunate incidents and fought anything that suggested the holidays to him. He made a lot of money, but it never brought him happiness. The big thing for me was to make him realize that people and Christmas meant good and not evil. And from what I saw this afternoon, the Rasper family and the whole neighborhood, for that matter, is going to benefit by his awakening to that realization.
Oh, Nick, that's wonderful. You deserve a kiss for that.
Oh, thanks, Patsy. I'm glad you feel that way, too. You know, I'm happier this evening because of Mr. Rasper than I would be if I'd solved 20 murders. He's made this a really Merry Christmas for all of us.
This has been another of the strange adventures of Nick Carter, Master Detective, which are brought to you regularly at this time by WOR Mutual. What's your story going to be about next time, Nick?
It's a little different from the usual story because it started out with Nick himself being the victim of a holdup.
Yes, and the men who held me up turned out to be innocent after all.
Sounds a trifle complicated to me.
It was complicated, but interesting. And it gave me plenty of trouble before I found the solution.
Including a sore throat that almost finished Nick Carter.
A sore throat? Well, why should that be dangerous?
Because it was the kind that you get from a rope around your neck.
Hey, wait a minute. You mean...
All the rest of the story you get 2 weeks from tonight, not now. So long, everybody.
So long.
So long, both of you. In the strange adventure you have just heard, Nick Carter was impersonated by Lon Clark, Patsy by Helen Choate, and Scubby by John Kane. The story was written for Nick Carter by Humphrey Davis. Original music was played by Lou White. The entire production was under the direction of Jock McGregor. 2 weeks from tonight, at the same time, listen to another curious experience of Nick Carter entitled
The Double Disguise, or Nick Carter and the Mystery of the Kidnapped Heiress.
This story is a copyrighted feature of Street and Smith Publications, Incorporated. The Return of Nick Carter is produced in the studios of WOR and is broadcast over most of these stations Monday evenings at 9:30 Eastern Wartime. This is Mutual.
Hey everyone, it's good old St. Nick. I have a bunch of great Christmas episodes coming on this holiday season, so stay tuned. You're listening to an Old Time Radio USA Christmas, right here on Old Time Radio USA.
More of your favorite Christmas episodes can be heard streaming live from Old Time Radio USA. Visit www.wotrradionetwork.com to listen there and other additional platforms. Check out the WOTR Radio Network mobile app for on-the-go listening, available for Android and iOS devices.